This poem is called My Last Day. She stepped in the room and I could not look away. Alone she was, so beautiful she could not be astray. Her eyes sparkled as if they winked at me. Blinding for a moment, it was hard to see. She walked towards me as I was hypnotized, unable to move, just staring in her eyes. She did not notice me sitting all alone. Maybe because I was so still, sitting like a stone. She stopped by a table and began to sit down. It was very quiet, could not hear a sound. Her beauty so breathtaking, she caught the whole room, like a beautiful rose that was in full bloom. She had to have a man that had her heart, too pretty of a woman for any man to part. She was sitting there and suddenly began to cry. I felt pain and saw a tear come from her eye. I walked up to her and asked what was wrong. She looked up and said nothing, not too strong. I asked if I could sit with her with a stumbling voice. Wiping the tear from her eye, she said, "It's my choice." She asked me my name and we began to talk. After about an hour, we went for a walk. She told me of a pain she had deep inside, a type of cancer that stole all her pride. The doctor told her she did not have long to live. There was not any cure that the doctor could give. Her family all gone and she was all alone. She said, "I have a son and he is sitting at home." "Only 5, as she cried. "What will happen to him? He will be all alone with no family and his life will be in dim." A tear came from my eye, not knowing what to say. We sat by the lake, hugging for the rest of the day, watching the water as she told me of her past, about her family and good memories as they last. We laughed and talked all throughout the day, not mentioning the cancer or any bad things to say. We watched the sunset as she said it will be my last. It seemed like an hour before it finally passed. So beautiful like her as ducks flew over the lake, she began to pray, asking for the Lord to take her to heaven and watch after her son, to give him a family with joy and fun. She stopped crying, looking at the moon with a smile. She said it was okay now, and the day was well worth her while. The babysitter knows that I will not be back home. She has a number of a place to take my son sitting by the phone. I said bye to him and gave him a last kiss, for he is the life I had and very much I will miss. But I will be his angel and will guide him through life. I will be by his side until he can have his own wife. The Lord came to me and said everything will be okay. He told me to go out and enjoy my last day. Now here I am with you. I thank you for caring. It was a very nice day. I thank you for sharing. In silence, we sat there, hugging through the night, as she breathed her last breath there and headed to the light. The sun started to rise and I could feel her so cold. I took her to the hospital with a story I told. The doctor came to me as he too cried. She was a great woman, very hard she tried. I left to work with new sights and plans, for just one night made me a new man. As soon as I got to work, my phone began to ring. I answered, "Children's Home," as my heart started to sing. For I already knew who was on the other end. I never told where I worked to my new friend. The babysitter was there, trying to explain her call. I told her to calm down and that I knew all. She brought the boy in and I saw a sparkle in his eye. It was hard for me to only smile and not to cry. The boy smiled and asked, "Is this where I will live?" I told him yes, and a happy life I will try to give. For I too was alone, so I adopted this little boy. With our angel watching us, we set off for a life of joy. Written by Mike Porter Jordan Jr., October 2nd, 2001. My last day.